Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with part 3 of my tutorial on an altered playing card journal. And I'm here to show you the finished piece and how I did the binding. I promised I'd come back and we'd talk about the decorations. And let's get started. For the binding, all I did was I took 3 pieces of ribbon, and together I went down one hole over the under the bottom and came up the other hole. Then I braided each side and wrapped it, then tied it in knots, and then tied it in another tie. And that's it. On the front, the only difference is I added a rhinestone. And the first page, the first thing I did is I used a stencil and some metallic wax. This is always fun to work with. And if you haven't tried it, please do. Don't be afraid of it. It's kind of fun to use. And it gives some interest to the background. And I love to take ephemera and use it as tuck spots and belly bands instead of creating a, cutting out cardstock to do that when I can. So I did that to a butterfly. I glued it around the edges and the bottom and the side. Then I took a little strip of paper like this, folded it up to make it look like an envelope, and you can write on it. Tuck that back into the butterfly. And on this side, I took a flower and made it into a belly band by simply gluing the top and the bottom. So it's kind of pretty. And same thing here. This side, I glued in this piece of ephemera. And then I put a flower behind it and then cut through it. So you can't really tell there's a corner tuck there unless there's something in the pocket. So I think that's kind of neat. And this side is our windows that we created with our little girl. I put a little girl and some lace and a little pop of color. And I put a butterfly and a mushroom. I think that came out pretty nicely. And then on this side, what I try to do with a double-sided window like this, I try to put a piece of ephemera that's approximately the same size so you don't see it from either side. And then I just decorated this. In the next ones, I took 2 cards, 2 pages, and glued them together and notched them and created a side pocket with a pull-out card with some lace. Whoop, looks like I have to glue that again. And the same thing on this side. I put a piece of ephemera, a little flower, and then made it into a tuck spot. Over here, I simply made a little tablet, little journaling spot, and clipped that in with some musical note paper clips. I got these clips off of Wish, and if you haven't used Wish, give it a try. What you have to know is that many of the items are very cheap. They can be free. These, I believe, were free, but shipping was, I think, $3 for a bunch. I considered that was okay for what they were, but that's what you have to look at. You have to check out the shipping charge, and you can't be in a hurry for it. On this is also made with metallic wax. I embossed it and then covered it with that different waxes to give it that effect. Kind of looks metal. Okay, and this side we have our fold-out flaps, kind of like a folio. Whoops. And on either side, I put a spot to journal. Here I have a little pocket. Here I have a little space of stacked cards. Just like stacked envelopes, these open up and you can write on the back, you can write on the front on some of them. And I simply attach them with a little piece of paper hinge, a piece of cardstock. And then I close it up with some twine. Let me try to get that tied again. I won't. I'll play with that later. Well, bugs me. Bugs me. Would have been easier if it was ribbon. There we go. And that closes. That closes. And then in our last page, I didn't do anything here. The last page, I made a double cloth pocket. The same material we had on the front behind the flower. And added a few pieces of ephemera. A few cards you can write on the back. Okie doke. That's it. That's my altered playing card journal. I hope you make one or have made one as you followed along. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and I really want to take a moment to thank my subscribers. I appreciate all your support. And each of you have a great day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.